Welcome, come one, come all, to a moderately exciting video of a grown man-child riding an electric scooter for an extraordinary amount of time.
It's me, a Mario.
Only kidding, folks. Even I got bored watching 4 hours of raw video footage, so we'll cut it short and spice it up. The Emove Cruiser version 2 is the latest generation of scooter from Voro Motors, our premier electric scooter dealer, located just outside Los Angeles, California. The Emove Cruiser, sporting a 1,000-watt rear hub motor and a 30-amp-hour LG battery. The Emove Cruiser version 1 did extremely well in this test, but will the newer version 2 model hold up as well? Let's find out in today's full range test, brought to you by Ginger on Wheels.
Okay. All jokes aside, the version 2 Emove Cruiser should do just as well on this test as the V1, right? After all, they have the same battery. Well, maybe. The scooter is around 20% more powerful and is 10 pounds heavier due to its overbuilt quality frame design. Also, I'm 10 pounds heavier than I was when I did the first range test on the first model. So if you want to see the final result of the range test, please feel free to skip to the end of the video and just spoil the whole thing like a rotten apple. But do yourself a favor and come back and watch the rest later, because I discovered some things about this scooter during my ride that no one else really talks about. This is 4 hours of raw video footage and it was not the most fun thing to edit, so maybe you could consider subscribing, considering that we're friends now and all. Alright, before we get into it too deep, let me tell you a little overview of what happened here on the Emove Cruiser in this video. So the ride started out with some errands while riding on the stock settings. The stock scooter settings right out of the box. It was rather aggressive acceleration for a range test, and the power was set to max. But first I went and dropped off some PEV outlet orders to my friends down at the park. They were waiting for me. We were hanging out for a bit. Then I dropped off some more orders at UPS through lots of city riding with stop and go traffic. And then we went to the USPS store to drop off the last orders, and I decided to optimize the settings for range while I was there. But that's when I noticed something rather odd with the scooter. In fact, except for the bits where I was just going down the trail, just like you're seeing now, this whole day was full of twists and turns. No pun intended. So there I was, you see, at the post office. A normal day. Rather hot though. The good part of the post office was closed, so after dropping off some orders in the mail chute, I hung out to cool off for a bit. I started dinking with the settings on my scooter. After all, I had some people to impress with this thing's range. I did a quick Google search for the scooter manual online, and much to my dismay, the hyperlink on Voro Motors' website to the manual still redirects to the About Us page for the whole company. Odd. It's been a week since I told them about that glitch, but still no manual in sight. So I sneaked. I turned my mobile browser on desktop mode and was able to access the manual. A weird glitch that for some reason works. Technology, am I right? I read and I read. There we are. Page 28, the settings. But the further I got, the more I realized the settings in the manual didn't line up with my scooter quite right. Was I special? Was everyone able to see these special settings in their scooter? I adjusted my overall output power, turned the regenerative braking on, but what is this? FAC setting. FA? A8? A9? AA? No, I quit that a long time ago. I had questions and I needed answers. Good thing. Voro Motors has live chat customer service 7 days a week. There I stood, sweaty. I chat with Debbie for a while, trying my best to coax the real, updated manual out of her. Finally, she forked it over, but much to my dismay, it was the same manual as before. At this point, I'm curious, but I don't have time to figure out what these mystery settings do. There's a storm brewing outside. I just needed to find the P5 setting for my cruise control. It's missing. Odd. I don't have time for this though, really, it's too hot. She says she'll ask the techs and get back to me. Pfft. Debbie's, am I right? I accept my fate. I'll be holding the throttle with my thumb the whole time instead of cruising like a free bird. So I bust out my tools and I switch the position of the brake lever and the throttle to make it more comfortable. It's just too far away. When the brake lever's closer to the grips, who designed this thing? In a last-ditch effort, I make a Facebook post on Yogi Steve's Emove Cruiser V2 Facebook group, calling out for help. Does anyone know where the P5 setting is? After I post, I ride. And I ride, and ride, then I ride some more. After an hour, I can't take it anymore. I need to know what the bonus settings do. I'll burn another hour testing each one, step by step, stopping to enter the 6969 password countless times. I'll cut to the chase. Like I said, we don't have time for this. I push the mode twice, enter the settings, scroll up to FAC, push mode again, and then, boom. FAC's activated, account counts up from 0 to 100, and the scooter has now been factory reset to default settings. Shame, we gotta go through it all again. A8? I still couldn't figure that one out. Is this the mystery setting? Cruise control? Perhaps. A9 seems to be some sort of child mode. Locks the scooter into speed mode 1 only. Too slow for us, we don't have time. Next setting, AA. Oh wait, it's dual motor mode. I activate the settings, you see 2 wheels on the screen instead of 1. Throws a display error, you see? Scooter stops working, eventually turns off. Perhaps, though. Maybe. Is this foreshadowing? Is this a pre-planned sneak attack from Voro Motors? You get everyone to buy the scooter, give them 6 months for the joy to wear off, and then offer the dual motor upgrade? Could be, could be. Anyway, that's my theory and I'm sticking to it. So there we were, just riding, hitting so many bumps. Sure glad I swapped that stock suspension. The D&M coils were like microwaved butter. Delicious. A Facebook notification. I stop and I check and I pray someone on the other end is there to relay how to activate my cruise control. My thumb, she's hurting. To my dismay, no one knows, just a few people on the other end saying,
"Hey, yeah, I couldn't figure it out either. Oh well, cruise control is super dangerous and should never be used by anyone on an electric scooter. Are you nuts?"
Oh yeah? Tell that to the 20 miles and 2 full hours of road I have ahead of me, boss. Oh well. I call up my hot Brazilian girlfriend for a pep talk. Boy, she's smoking. It works. I gear up, throttle down, and ride. The sun neared the horizon when I saw I had so much battery left. I didn't trust the display telling me I had 60% after all that. Impossible. So I take the shorter route home than I'd planned, and that's when I seize them. Up, straight up hills. Many and lots of hills. Steep ones too, so steep that we're creeping up at 5 miles per hour at one point so long that I thought I heard the motor's internals screaming and weeping. At the top, battery at 30%. Ha! I knew that battery gauge was up to no good. At the top, sluggish power though. I'm thinking, this is it. It's gonna drop like a rock and turn off. Inside, I'm ready for the test to be over. It's been so long. This day felt like 2. I feel it. Then I feel it. I feel the first raindrops. Don't mind, that happens all the time in Washington. The scooter's IPX6 water resistance rated. Wait, The Gen 1 version was IPX7. I wonder what happened. Finally, that's when I see it. On the display, 0%. But the scooter? It rides on.
Tis but a flesh wound.
Oh yeah? No way it'll last another mile, but it does. At up to 22 miles per hour, it does. The scooter rode on 0% battery like Joe Biden during the debate, somehow still alive and able to move. Then it starts really raining, actual rain. Not the normal kind, I can smell it. It's warm, maybe a little salty in the air. This isn't normal rain. Boy, it's really raining now, but then my prayers are answered. After riding what felt like an eternity and at 0% battery for over 3 miles at speeds higher than average for the rest of the test, we are slowing down. The scooter finally gives up, throws the E5 error on the display, and ends the show. Well done, old gal. The motor's gone, but it is kind enough to let me keep the lights on while I push it home. Thank you. Too bad I'm so far. Long walk ahead of us, and the rain's coming now in sheets. I turn off the tracking software, and this is what I see. Not bad. Really not bad. I stop at a park and rest halfway home while it uploads.
I hope I can get home to edit this video, and if I do, subscribe to Ginger on Wheels. I'm one of... Oh, that thunder.
Worst case scenario. This is bad. The scooter's still on. It's raining something fierce. It's a lightning storm right now, just like the other Emove Cruiser video. What is it about these things? But if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I only do this for you. And I'll see you for the next video.
We did make it home eventually, the cruiser and I. And while it wasn't quite as long of a ride as I'd hoped, due to our rough and zippy start and all the hills, so many hills, I still got home, soaked to the bone, but proud of my scooter, the Emove Cruiser version 2.